Hi, this is my take on why I love Rose Tyler. Okay, let's start with who is Rose again? Rose is a 19-year-old London child from the 21st century. She doesn't have any particular education. She doesn't even have A-levels. She works in a shop, lives with her mum. She doesn't have any particular future as it is, she doesn't have any career options as we look at from her perspective, at the moment, and she takes a chance to discover time and space and get out of her room. Um, it's true that Rose has flaws, and not very few flaws actually. She can be quite bitchy. First of all, she is threatened by any female that the Doctor gives attention to in both of his incarnations that she got to meet, and that's understandable. She's jealous. She's a jealous type, and I don't think jealousy can be a pet peeve for a lot of people, but it's not that bad because it shows she's a real person. She's not portrayed as perfect. You know what I mean? And her thing with Mickey, she was a bit, her ego was kind of big and she didn't really care about her boyfriend. But I'm not sure how not official, how non-casual the things between them were. Because I think that for me, as I was watching the show, I got the feeling that Rose and Mickey just like having fun with each other. They weren't that serious. They weren't like Rory and Amy. First of all, because they were both too young. Like when you're 19, you just want to fool around and be with the person you want to be because you're having a good time. I don't think she was in love with him ever, and she betrayed him. And Mickey knew that. He waited for her and needed her, but that's because he was clinging a bit onto her. But he knew that it was always her and the Doctor. He never doubted that. He was just trying to stick around. And then he decided to lead his own path in Pete's world. And I think that's cool. And Rose was still upset over that, so it's not like she doesn't have any feelings. And also, when it comes to Martha on Stolen Earth that you mentioned, she didn't know who Martha was. She recognized that Martha came after her. She knew how much the Doctor cared for her, I guess, so she expected to be the first one that he called had he known she was on Earth. I think I would have reacted just the same as Rose. I would be like, why isn't he calling me? I'm the one he loves. Who is that chick? And yet, despite her flaws, she does have an impact on the Doctor. The Doctor that we get to meet as Christopher Eccleston is the Doctor right after the Time War. He's hurt. He is a veteran. He saw culture, his own culture, and his own civilization die in flames, and he caused most of it, as far as we're concerned. He's ruthless and cruel and mean when it comes to he calls people stupid apes in the very first episode. She made him a better person, and that's why he gradually fell in love with her, especially as the 10th Doctor. I mean, the love obviously grew in season 2, and he had an impact on her as well because he taught her a new way to lead her life. That when something very unfair happens, you stand up and make things right when everybody else just gives up, and you fight until the very end and stand up for yourself and what you believe. And both him and Rose grew as characters, and that's what's bonding them together so much, and that's why they're so dependent on each other. He wasn't. It's like you say, compared to the other Doctors, the ninth was a bit after the war. He kind of started over at that point, and she helped him become the 10th Doctor, I guess you can say, because a lot of his life as the 10th and 9th Doctor revolved around her. And and even the TARDIS acknowledges how much Rose meant to the Doctor, because the TARDIS interface showed her in Red Skin Hitler when he said, "Show me someone that I like." It's the first person that comes in the TARDIS mind, and imagine how many people the Doctor has met up to that point, and it's Rose, the one that the TARDIS shows. And last but not least, I just want to say that Rose might have her flaws, but I like her, and she has a special spot right in there because A, she is relatable because she's not perfect, both on the inside and the outside. Like, she can be a bit jealous and a bit of a chav. She said, "You're so gay" to the Doctor in, I think it was Aliens of London. And she's a real person. We can relate to her. For me, I like seeing the story from the companion's perspective, because you obviously can't relate to a 900 or 1000-year-old Time Lord who's a veteran of war. So I like the fact that she's relatable, she wears her baggy clothes, has an attitude, and is jealous at times. And I think that makes her relatable to us. And secondly, I think even if someone doesn't really like Rose, like if jealousy is your pet peeve or whatever, and you think it's bitchy to Sarah Jane or Martha or whatever, I think you still have to acknowledge the fact that she meant so much to the Doctor that you can't really hate her. Like, I think all of us should have been hurt when she left in Doomsday, because we saw the Doctor's reaction and how much she meant to him. And yeah, maybe, like, I understand if you didn't like her that in season 4 when she appeared in random places you were like, oh god, she's coming back again. But I think if you care about the Doctor even the tiniest bit, then you understand how important Rose was to the whole series. So it's not like us fans of Rose are clinging on to her, don't even consider other companions as better. Like, my favourite companion is Donna, but if someone doesn't like loud people, or like, Donna can be rude sometimes, or like mistaken for rude, and she's very loud and bossy. Some people may not like that, but I think Donna is amazingly fantastic. So like, I like when people are portrayed to have flaws, right? And I think for all these reasons that I said, I tried to make this brief, but it didn't work. I think that at least you should not completely hate Rose, even though she does have flaws.